The fuss wasn't enough? Welcome back again! You pathetic people! The Blair Witch Project 2! MTV decided to get involved! Why? But they did. 8 times they probably shot it, and 8 times it was a failure, but the 9th time... God damn you bugs! Everywhere! The Blair Witch 2, about 6 people that decide to investigate the mysterious Blair Witch and what happened to those bastard children. It didn't end well. It never does. Enjoy it with these reviews from Mike and Jay. Suckerfats! I'm done with this. Hey guys, we're about to wham! We watched a movie! Yeah! Fuck it! I'm not gonna talk like that anymore. I say...
That's what I said, man.
God damn. Don't. God damn!
Oh, you got me.
I win.
A little bit of payback.
A little payback came from my mouth to your face.
Master Wayne.
I'll spit in your fucking cup. So, Blair Witch 2, Book of Shit. This movie came out exactly 1 year after the Blair Witch Project, and it is a shining example of cash grabbing for a studio. Completely, 100%, the studio said, Blair Witch Project is a cultural phenomenon. Let's cash in and make this shit the real world Seattle in the woods. And you know what it is? I'm going to say this right off the bat. I didn't hate it as much as I thought I would because it's been a while since I've seen it. I hated it originally because it was a sequel to Blair Witch. And it was so bad as far as a sequel being to Blair Witch, I hated it. But watching it now and knowing a few things afterwards, it's not bad as a standalone movie. Now, I will say that the MTV is culturally strong in this movie. It's very strong in this movie.
I like the soundtrack,
I do
man.
too. I mean, you know what it is? It's one of those movies that you watch. It's not Scream, okay? Nowhere near Scream. But when you watch Scream, you get this nostalgic feel for the 90s. Yeah. And you get this in this movie, I think. Like, It really takes you back to the 90s. Like the soundtrack, or 13 Ghosts even. Yeah. Like the soundtrack with that rock, weird, like Marilyn Manson-ish kind of music. And then them going out in the woods, naked, red-haired chicks dancing around naked a tree. Yeah. You're there, and you're understanding, and you're there.
I want to party with you.
Yeah. But as far as the movie itself goes, so the plot... The plot's a little bit weird, but it's not that hard to understand. It's basically like Memento with Blair Witch. So, the Blair Witch Project in Blair Witch 2, the actors understand in the Blair Witch 2 that it's a movie. It's a movie inside of a movie. They understand the Blair Witch Project wasn't real or whatever. And it's kind of, they try to do their best to go with between a documentary and an actual cinematic film, because sometimes in the movie it's split up to where they're interviewing fans of the movie, and the people of Burkittsville, Pennsylvania, saying it's a movie, and we've had people come up here and they're looting and they're stealing and they're acting like assholes. And then you have the protagonist of it starts this Blair Witch tour group, because it's weird though, because they say that the Blair Witch Project in the movie, they're saying it's fake, right? But they're saying the myth is real.
Yeah. And I mean, that's the thing. Like, they show the director of the actual documentary guy, and they never did anything with this, but they show him. He's talking. He was like, some people come up to me and they'll go, "It's real." I'll go, "I know," and then they'll go, "I know," and then I'll go, "I know," and they're like, it's like that scene in Wayne's World where he's like, "I love you." He's like, "Thanks, man." He's like, "No, I really love you."
Garth goes, "Just say I know." Like,
yeah.
I know.
So and it's like that, but then they show him in a mental institution, like losing his shit, and they're doing it, and it's you know,
it's jump cuts. It's jump cuts everywhere.
And to watch it, like, you know, to watch it, to see it, and to experience it, it's like, it's entertaining because there's just rock music playing and there's all this crazy mental asylum stuff. But when you tie it all together, it's shit. Flash editing, quick shit, rock and roll music playing in the background. It's an easy movie to watch. Like, it's easy to sit through and watch. Like, it's entertaining, but it never fucking goes anywhere. Nothing ties together. Throughout this entire movie, there's a million scenes of like, oh, here's this would look scary. Let's show these dogs barking at the end of this bridge, or let's show this happen. It was like this guy made this movie and he put 1,000 different horror movies in it, but none of it tied together. So you're just watching a music video, basically, is all this fucking movie is.
Yeah, I was expecting Scott Stapp and Creed to come up at one point and be playing in the woods.
What if you did? What if you lied?
Find the sticks. But again, despite it being that stupid and that corny, that was what made it fun. I think that's what made it enjoyable for me watching it now.
There's 20 minutes of them just getting fucked up in the woods.
And I like that. And you know what? You know what the thing is about them being fucked up in the woods and not remembering anything the next day? That's our life.
Totally realistic.
That's like our life. It's like music. It's like, hey Jay, do you remember what we did? I was like, no, I don't even. I was like, well, somebody recorded us, you stupid fuck. And apparently we were like dancing backward around a tree naked and trying to fuck every girl that walked around. I was like, well, that's a. Did we score?
I was like, is this a horror movie?
Yeah,
or
I know.
is this Tuesday?
But here's the thing. As far as that goes, yeah, that was a little weak and it was corny and cheesy. But again, it gets points for just because of that. The thing about talking about it as a serious movie, as far as you can't. But I'm saying like trying to look at it like how they shot it. It's jumbled up so much. It feels like multiple directors directed scenes. Yeah. It's like it's not consistent really on any one level because the jump scares that happen and the jump cuts that they film, it's like Jacob's Ladder in a way because, you know, they'll be talking to each other and then they'll see like a bitch eating an owl and they're like, ugh, or whatever. Or like a girl walking backwards like, hello. I didn't like that herky-jerky shit, but you know, it's like jump cuts everywhere. And it's like they would like let a director film it for 20 minutes and then another director would come in and film it for 20 minutes and then another director. I know there was one director, but it just feels like there was multiple directors.
What's funny about that too is the dude that directed it is like a well-known documentarian. Like he did like that recent Tony Robbins thing that's on Netflix. He did that. He's done a bunch of very, very well-known documentaries, and this was like a movie that he tried to make in a documentary style. And like at some points they flash towards the end when like the sheriff's interviewing people, and you're like. About 40% through the movie, I was like, they don't know what the fuck's going on with this movie. Like, I feel sorry for whoever the fuck edited this piece of garbage. But
I think that the thing
it's entertaining in a music video sort of way. You can sit and watch it easily and then walk away going, that was a piece of shit. But I actually kind of enjoyed watching it.
Despite them being all over the place, which they were, I still think that they made it pretty atmospheric for the most part in some ways. I mean, it wasn't as atmospheric, we didn't mention that, but it wasn't as atmospheric as Blair Witch Project, because Blair Witch Project was
totally different. Yeah.
Totally, it was the fucking king's dick. But this one does its best, and it's not bad. I mean, it does keep you a little bit for me, I was interested in the story to see how it played out, because they were going with enough. And there was enough weird shit going on that I wanted to see what the payoff was going to be and what was going to happen at the end. And you know, honestly, at the end, when you find out that, spoiler right here, that they killed these people on Coffin Rock, you know, they killed basically themselves. They turned on each other because of the Blair Witch influence. That was pretty creepy. Like, I mean, honestly, like, you don't remember this stuff and you were being so influenced by this witch that you have to have a video camera and then it records all this stuff and you're like, that wasn't me, I don't know what happened. That was pretty creepy. But ultimately, it just didn't stay consistent to that end of the movie. It was like they were going. You're right. It was DKG. It was like ba 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 ba, and it was like where are we gonna go? Where are we gonna go? Is it gonna go up here? Go down here? I mean, we don't know.
It was like Empire Records had sex with Blair Witch.
It was.
It's like you know, it's like that. Like you got the two girls. Like the one's like this. She reminds me a lot of the girl in the first one that she takes herself so seriously. She's annoying.
Yeah.
The Wiccan chick. She's like all she's like, no, seriously, Wiccans practice this, and you're like, you know, like you're like a 16-year-old who's mad at her dad. Like this is a phase. Stop it. Stop trying to take yourself seriously. No one else is.
Yeah.
But the movie also tried to take her seriously, so it was kind of annoying. And then you got the goth chick. Now here's a question that I want to ask you.
I would do.
This is the question I want to ask you, and this is what really matters when we talk about this movie.
She's psychic too.
Would you rather have sex with the Wiccan chick, who's classically hot? She's a redhead. She's gorgeous, but she's kind of annoying and takes herself too seriously.
Yeah, okay.
Or the goth chick.
I would have sex with the goth chick.
Oh man.
I'll tell you why.
I would too. I would too. No,
I know this is about
stole my thunder.
Well, I didn't mean
She's
to.
mine, Jay.
There was a lightning strike and I took it when you weren't looking. But listen, well, if you're gonna trade off, if I get the red hair, I'll take the red.
I mean, it's not a bad.
It's not a bad trade off. But I mean, the reason why I would take the fucking goth chick though is you're right. The red hair girl, she was. You'd be having sex with her and you'd be like, "Fuck, this is great." You'd be like, "Oh," and then she'd be like, "No, I mean, whatever you're gonna do."
I don't want to see your fucking whole face.
The sheriff, who is the worst, by the way.
Sheriff.
It was the worst. Sheriff. He was the worst one of this whole movie.
It's terrible. But you could party with the goth chick. She seemed cool.
Yeah, you could. But he was like, wipe that shit off your face. And she wipes it off. She's, you know, whatever. She was just doing it for part of the atmosphere or her personality or whatever. It wasn't all that she believed in all that stuff. But I mean, I feel like we're not giving you what this movie's about. So I mean,
we kind of are. I mean, that's kind of
we are. But I mean, we're jumping all over the place. But it is like this. We're jumping all over the place. But this is like MTV. This is what they did.
Oh, it's very meta. And then the fact that, like you said, like it's a movie. They know it's a movie, but he's profiting off it, doing these Blair Witch tours and stuff like that.
I feel bad though for this movie though because it could have been something.
It had some cool
so
shit.
Much potential.
Like where the dude lived. The dude's backstory. He had a cool character in that like
Broom's fucking factory.
He stole a bunch of shit and sold it on eBay, but this factory is huge. It was like that 90s, 80s horror feel. It was a perfect place for a horror movie to happen in, where it was at this big-ass warehouse, and just like every room had all this different shit in it, and it was really cool in like an 80s sort of way. And everything takes place in this house. They start to turn on each other. It's like Loki's scepter's there. Everybody's fighting and shit. Put on the suit, and all this stuff. You don't know who the bad guy is. There's weird sexual tension, but like this movie just did not restrain at all. If there was a moment where they could totally change the storyline completely to have this sexual moment happen between these two characters, they would go for it. There was no restraint. They didn't follow any sort of plug line. They just went with what felt right, and it made for a movie that's so easy to watch and funny to look at and easy to sit through, but ultimately is a shitbox salad at the end of the day, and that's kind of what this movie was. And the acting's terrible, but it's fun, but it's good. There's cool scenes in it. She kills a girl with a nail filer at one point.
That's cool.
That was a badass
that was
scene.
A cool scene that they showed that on the camera footage that she didn't even know, and it's like she's in the interrogation room and she's watching it for the first time, and the way they shot that was cool. Again, so much promise in this movie that just didn't get realized, but at the same time, it's still a fun movie. I mean, if it had never been called Blair Witch 2, first off, there was no fucking book. I never saw a Book of Shadows. What the hell is that? But if it had never been called Blair Witch 2 and just been like, fuckery in Roman times in the woods, 1999. Whatever, if it had been a different title, it would have been a lot higher on my score. As of now, though, I'm going to give it a 6.5. I liked it enough to give it a 6.5.
I give it a 5.5. I give it a 5.5 where it was a terrible movie, but it's so easy to watch. It's not so bad that you can put it in bad movie territory, and it's not good enough to where it's even decent. But it's a fucking hour-and-a-half long music video with a lot of sex and a lot of drugs and a lot of rock and roll and some Blair Witch thrown in there. And it's a throwaway fucking movie, but guys, it's not a bad way to spend an hour and a half either.
I would even say it feels like a fall kind of movie, even now. Like if you were to put it in your DVD Blu-ray player.
I'd say it'd be a fun movie to watch with other people.
No, it is. I'm saying, but like if it's October 1st or whatever, or the fall is just happening, like September or whatever, and you pop it in, it feels like a Halloween movie.
I like to pop it in, and it feels like Halloween a lot.
Pop it in.
But yeah, so I mean, I don't know. I like the setting. I like the warehouse. I like this crazy group of people they put together, and how like they go from like, no, we're part. Like they wanted to be a coming of age movie, but they wanted to make a Blair Witch movie. I like the dude, how everything he has like Blair Witch and all. He's like, more coffee, more coffee. There's like 20 minutes where this dude does nothing but go, someone give me some fucking coffee. And someone's like, I want some beers. Like, I want some coffee. It's this perfect fucking MTV version of Blair Witch, and it's
I still think it's the real world. Like every time I watch it, it's like
definitely.
This is when we stop being fake and start being real.
Yeah,
and then they throw the fish at the camera.
So that's what this movie is. It's a shit fucking movie, but it's pretty entertaining at the same time. So watch it at your own risk. But what do you guys think? That's what I want to know. What do you guys think of Blair Witch? I mean, everybody fucking classically hates this movie. If you sat down wanting to watch a good horror movie and wanted to actually be scared,
we're not giving you a recommendation that it's an amazing horror movie.
Not at all. But if there's nothing else on it, and you want to fucking clean your house or get drunk and hang out with people and watch a movie, it's pretty good for that. Because you can make fun of people and laugh at it.
There's not bad. I mean, they're not bad jump scares. I mean, they're not bad.
So there's nothing scary at all.
Well, I like the backward walking bitch.
You always hate those herky.
I don't like that girl.
Comment down below, let us know what your all thoughts for the Blair Witch 2 is. And by the time this comes out, we will have seen Blair Witch, so that'll be added to everything else. That comes out this Thursday. You probably won't see this for like another few weeks, but we're getting it done early!
This is from the past. This is stuff from the past saying, one movie per touch! We gotta zoom in. You guys, okay, hey Mike, wait. No, I got it. Just hold the card.
Hold the card. He's going inside the bra.